critical fight for the Moloney family, isn't it? First twin brother Andrew, of course, lost the title belt on Tuesday, and now Jason is here trying to maintain his top 5 status in the 4 major organizations, and he's up against Baez, Leonardo Baez. And believe it or not, this is a matchup of twins. Leonardo is also a twin. The identical twin brother by 1 minute to Eduardo Baez, who is a super bantamweight belt holder in the Mexican ranks. He has 15 wins in his career. Leonardo has won 11 of his last 12. He's won 6 straight. He told us, I did not come to Vegas to play around here. I am focused. I am going absolutely all out for the win. Let's look at the Geico tail of the tape, and I want your attention to be on the power punch connect percentage. You see the height advantage for Baez. You also see that the bantamweight average on power punches is to land 35%. He's over 40%. The target is J.Moloney. He was originally scheduled to fight Oscar Negrete, but Oscar withdrew because of an eye injury. He said, you know, I look at these two, Negrete and Baez, their styles are similar. Their aggression, the way they throw a lot of punches. So he feels that what they've been working on hasn't changed. He just has to adjust to fighting now a much taller opponent. The Australian puncher with 17 knockouts in his 20 wins. He has fought for the world title and lost a split decision. Now he wants to get back to that stage. He has to win tonight to maintain his status. For the official introductions, here's Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside the MGM Grand Conference Center here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. This is boxing presented by Bob Arum's Top Rank. This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds in the Bantamweight division. Judges at ringside, Tim Cheatham, Julie Letterman, Dave Moretti. And the man in charge at the sound of the bell, Mr. Kenny Bayless. This is boxing. This is Top Rank. And this is the main event. Fighting out of the blue corner, presented in association with Golden Boy Promotions. He weighed in at 118.3 pounds, wearing white trunks with red and green trim. He brings a record of 18 wins, 2 losses, 9 wins coming by way of knockout. From Mexicali, Mexico, Leonardo Leon Baez. Fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 117.7 pounds, wearing black trunks with gold trim. He brings a record of 20 wins, 1 defeat, 17 wins coming by way of knockout. From Melbourne, Australia, Jason Mayhem Moloney.
Okay, fellas, trunks look good on both sides. Anything in between is okay. If it's below, then I'll let you know. Okay, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Keep this fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Touch up, touch up.
Important bantamweight 10-rounder here. You can join in and participate live with your voice on ESPN.HearMeCheer.com. Andre Ward, when you go through the CompuBox numbers of J.Moloney, you will notice that he likes to target the body. 52% of his landed punches are body shots, and he's got a tall, long frame body for a bantamweight in Baez opposite him.
Well, that's a beautiful thing, Tess. I mean, we talk about body shots and working inside every show on this network, and he's going to need that. And I'm talking Moloney as he fights an aggressive, awkward fighter in Leonardo Baez.
Speaking of awkward fighters, you know, we've had some upsets in the past when it comes to tall, lanky, Mexican fighters. You remember Felix Verdejo?
Yep.
When he fought Antonio Lozada? He was beat. And then you remember Dog Bay when he fought against Navarrete? He was beat. And I hope this isn't a curse here on this show when it comes to these champions or these fighters.
Good action right away here. Nice pace being set by these two.
Yeah, you easily know, and it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out what Baez is trying to do. He's trying to get in the inside. He wants to work in the inside. He wants to roughhouse and hit the body and break down the body of Moloney.
Goes with a left hand to the body.
Work out. No hold, no hold, no hold.
Combination from Moloney. He works that real estate to the inside. Dug with the left hand to that right flank.
Watch this shoulder. Stop, stop, stop. No push, no push.
Moloney's doing a good job in picking off Baez. As Baez tries to move his head from side to side, he's timing that head movement with nice crisp combinations. And a nice solid jab.
Stop, stop, stop. Watch your head
Big right hand right there from Baez.
Work out, work out, work out.
Sure was.
What I've noticed, Moloney's he's really strong. He's physically strong in the inside. You know, he's very sturdy. He's not allowing Baez to rough him up. Look how he ties up right there. But you can just see how sturdy his legs are.
Stop. Watch your heads, fellas. Now watch your heads. Watch your heads. Time.
You know,
This is more than just a fight for Moloney. He's got to prove to himself tonight, Tess, as well as to the boxing world, that he's graduated. He fought a fighter, Emmanuel Rodriguez, back in October 2018 when he challenged for the IBF title. Similar fighter to what he's dealing with tonight in Baez. Long, rangy, aggressive Mexican fighter who is not looking for any one target. He just throws and wants to land anywhere. Moloney has to show and prove to himself that he's graduated from that experience back in 2018.
Work out. Watch your elbow.
And that he's learned how to make those adjustments.
Moloney's going to have to fight this fight in two phases. He's going to have to box a little bit on the outside and catch Baez as he's coming in with clean, effective punches. And then he's going to have to stand there and trade in spots, but he has to just choose his spots wisely throughout the course of this fight.
Watch your heads, la cabeza.
Both guys really ripping down to the body.
Up, up, no hold, no hold. No hold.
Oh, that was a low blow. That looked like it was a low blow. Baez is the type of fighter that just, he don't care where he hits. He hits you on the arms, hits you on the forearms, the shoulders, the head, wherever he can. He just wants to put his hands on it.
Stop.
Nice step around, but when Moloney just stepped out right there, you saw he got chased out with the hook. He has to be careful and always have his eyes wide open against a fighter like Baez, who's unpredictable.
Stop, stop. Sit back. Watch your heads, guys. Watch your heads. Don't push,
I love
don't
the
push.
temperament. I love the temperament of Moloney. You know, he's not just running around. No, he's standing. He's standing his ground right now, and he's winning his battle in the inside against Baez. He's beating him in his own fight right now.
Stop. Go hold.
End of 2 from Vegas. The MGM. He just celebrated a birthday this month, just turned 69 years old. So that is the news. Roberto Duran has tested positive for coronavirus.
That right hand there from Baez, that overhand right, is very, very sneaky. He's landed it at times and he's missed it, but he's constantly trying to set that up where he leans his body to the left, almost as if he's going to throw a left hand, and he comes over with the right hand over the top where Moloney can't see it. Maloney's got to keep his guard up and keep his eyes wide open for that shot. Tim, you talked the last round about Moloney beating Baez at his own game. I'm not sure if he's quite doing that yet, but I like what you said about where the fight was being fought. He's going to have to get inside. He can't allow the taller, rangier fighter continue to put pressure on him where Moloney's giving up a lot of energy. He's getting hit on the end of Baez's punches. That's not the game plan. This is where Moloney wants to be. Even though it's rough and tumble, this is where he needs to be, and I think this is his best shot to win this fight.
And look at him get that left hand underneath that right elbow of Baez. He loves going to the body.
Up, hold it. There we go.
Yeah, towards the end of that last round, Dre, when Moloney chose to stay in that pocket and work the body of Baez, he was beating him in his own game, because that's where Baez likes to operate, is inside the pocket. And the fact that he's doing it, you know, occasionally in this round, it's great because he's winning these exchanges in the inside.
Baez with a left hand to the body of his own, then tried to dig underneath.
Moloney just had a good sequence about 30 seconds ago where he did some inside work. Then he had about 10 or 15 seconds where he was allowed to by Baez to go out on his jab, pop shot a little bit, land a couple of clean shots. That's what you want to do. Get inside, take some wind, then get outside, score some points, and then get back inside.
See, the one thing that I like about Moloney and what he's doing is when he gets in the inside, you don't see him pulling back. You know, you can't do that against a taller fighter. If you pull straight back, then you're going to give the taller fighter room to be able to punch. You see how he's staying tight and he's not pulling back, he's not giving ground. That's what you have to do when you're a short fighter and you're facing a taller fighter. Great technique by Moloney.
Side, they want him to use both of his hands, get the jab working a little bit. Also saw the CompuBox numbers and the low percentage landed for Baez, as Moloney's hovering at 30% north and Baez is at 17%. Start round number 4 here. Jason Moloney, the former title contender from Australia, almost won himself a world championship, lost a split decision. The Moloney twins, his brother lost his belt on Tuesday night and now trying to come out and shine here and maintain his status as a top 10 contending bantamweight. ESPN.com has him as number 8 in a very top heavy loaded division.
Work out. Go, Holy.
Baez is allowing Moloney to step on the outside and box now because Moloney put together 2 good rounds on the inside. So Baez right now is trying to figure out, okay, where do you want to fight this fight? I thought you wanted to be inside. Now you're back outside. And as soon as Baez gets comfortable outside, you go back inside. That's how boxing is fought, and that's how fights are won.
Stop.
In other words, that means adjustments. How short and tight those body shots are and how much leverage that Moloney gets on those shots. He really sits down when he digs to the body.
Watch the elbow. Watch the elbow.
Look at he's pushing. Moloney is pushing the bigger man backwards. You know, he's bumping him. That's how physically strong Moloney is. He's strong inside the pocket.
I think it's really
Nice
just the
step
angle.
around
I'm
right
not sure
there
that
for
Moloney's stronger. I just think he's taking the right angle, and he's just using Baez's aggression against him. If I feel you leaning one way, all I have to do is take a half step the other way, and you're going to fall over, and I'm going to take advantage of it.
But I just look at the feet in the inside. You know, his feet are not wobbling around, you know. That's what I like from Moloney. He has a sturdy foundation when he's inside the pocket. No matter if he gets bumped or not, he's on great. He has great balance.
Don't push. Don't push. Watch your head. Stop. Step back. Step back.
Reminder, Saturday night, more boxing.
Off to get distance. But he's been the more physical guy, I believe, in the inside. You know, great balance, sturdy in there, and very under control. Landing some crisp body shots on Baez.
And compact with that short right hand that goes up top every so often on the inside. Round 5 scheduled for 10. Reminder, Scott Van Pelt is coming up when we finish up with the main event. Scott will get you all set. What we're hearing about the NFL is the preseason in jeopardy. And the PGA Tour is in Connecticut. It was a record-setting day at TPC River Highlands. So that is Sports Center with SVP following Top Rank Boxing.
Watch your elbow.
It's good work by Moloney right here.
Stop. Watch the pushing, guys.
Not giving ground. He's going to get this. Moloney will get more tired if he was moving around than he is standing inside the pocket and being in close range and not allowing Baez to extend with his arms.
31% of Moloney's total punches have landed.
Work out. Stop.
Well, the message that Moloney's sending to Baez right now is that we're going to fight this fight at my range. It's not going to be at your range. Baez has longer reach, and he wants Moloney going backwards like we talked about. And Moloney's not allowing that to happen right now, and that's why he's having success.
Not utilizing that 68-inch reach, that 5'9" frame, only landing 9% of his jabs. Is Baez. Will work on the inside from Moloney.
Stop. Watch your heads, fellas. Watch your heads.
I am super impressed with Moloney's ability to fight in the inside. How he gets his head out to the outside of the shoulder of his opponent.
Stop.
Sweeps around to the other side. He never leaves his head directly in the middle, because when you do that, you make yourself a victim to an uppercut.
Stop.
You see fighters fight in close combat like this, and there's ebbs and flows and adjustments being made. It's called a negotiation. And right now, Jason Moloney is winning this negotiation.
Baez trying to create some separation and get his punches off here as we come to the end of round number 5. And
thank you very much. Glad that you can hear me. We can have a conversation. Look forward to seeing you again. Joe.
you see 2 days removed and all the damage to his face, but it's nice to have him ringside. Know he's in better health now. Dre and Timmy says he's kicking himself over what happened the other day. Such regret. Said he wasn't himself, obviously, the issues with the eardrum. And he wants the rematch. Do you believe that that would be a well-received rematch? Is that a fight you want to see run back?
Yeah, of course. I would love to see it again. And I think if you know, you're Andrew Moloney, you should get the rematch. Heal your body, get your mind together, and try to give it another go and try to go get your title back. I think that's what boxing, that's the heart of what boxing is all about.
I wouldn't mind seeing the rematch myself. It was a great fight. Franco did what he had to do, did a great job. But yes, I want to see the rematch if they can make that happen.
4 rounds to 1, says Andre Ward, in favor of Jason Moloney. Short right hand as he stepped to Baez.
Work out, work out, work out.
It's great decision making by Moloney. You know, he starts off on the outside, looking to counter Baez as he's coming in, and then he steps inside the pocket to get a little breather, and then work the body of Baez.
Moloney's showing me right now that he's learned from the fight with Emmanuel Rodriguez. I didn't see him make this many adjustments, and I didn't see him thinking this well on his feet and on the fly. He surprised me tonight with the level of IQ that he's shown under pressure, because Baez is putting a lot of pressure on Moloney. And Baez is still dangerous, but Moloney just seems to be in a different place mentally tonight.
The fight you mentioned against Emmanuel Rodriguez, that was for the IBF Bantamweight World Championship. It was October of 2018. And in that fight, and tonight you get Moloney right from the start being where he wants to be, putting forth a consistent effort. In that fight, he rallied in the second half to close into the finish. And it was 115, 113 2 times for Rodriguez, and then going the other way, 115, 113. Moloney, the split decision, coming up short. Another body shot that time.
I think he's a different fighter tonight, Joe.
He is. Indeed he is, Drake.
Without question.
Good week of top-ranked boxing coming your way. Next week is tested positive for COVID. The procedure and protocol in place at the time eliminated that fight, but they are coming back, and we will see that next week. Robesi Ramirez also is on that card, the 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Speaking of testing positive for COVID, if you're just joining us now, the legendary Roberto Duran has tested positive, and he is hospitalized at home in Panama City. Duran is 69 years old, and right now he is hospitalized in Panama City as his family has confirmed that he tested positive for COVID-19.
It's just discouraging if you're Baez, because you're throwing these wide, big shots, and Moloney's standing there, and he'll catch the shot with his glove and counter you with the short shot. And he's just not giving Baez anything tonight. He's not giving him enough to get his engine going. It's got to be discouraging if you're Leonardo Baez.
And just works and
Another thing that I like from Moloney, what Moloney did, what he's doing is to avoid the right hand of Baez is he's getting his head off to the left when he throws his right hand. That's great fundamentals right there from Moloney. There he is again. He gets his head off to the left. He shoots the right hand right down the pipe as Baez comes forward.
A little bit of separation. Baez lets the hands go. Moloney has outlanded Baez 127 to 84 according to CompuBox to this point.
Leonardo Baez likes to throw hard on the inside, but he's not necessarily landing hard. I've seen him land some shorter body shots, but for whatever reason, he likes those gaudy, wide shots. And right now, Moloney's picking them things up. He's countering. He sees them coming. Baez has to make the adjustment.
Stop. Watch the push. Watch the push.
You see the blood streaming down the back of Jason Moloney. That blood is coming from the inside brow of the eye of Baez. So that tells you where the fight is. It's way on the inside as the taller man sometimes leaning over the top. You say he gets his head off to the left, and then you got the blood coming down, your opponent's blood coming down your own back. That's the damage also that Moloney's done on the inside. Yeah, there is. There is now another cut on the inside of the left brow as well.
Moloney right now look like he's turning it up right now.
All of Australia, and unlike his brother, who was undefeated, I spoke to him, and he learned from his loss. There you go.
Fight is stopped. TKO victory. It is over. Celebration has begun, and you can hear how much that meant to Jason Moloney.
He had enough. Yeah, he was getting popped. Oh, yeah, he was getting popped. But yeah, he still had the fire.
This is moments ago.
You know, he had two
Kenny Bayless
one like here and the other right in the ground.
observing and listening in to the corner of Leonardo Baez, who had taken so much damage on the inside. Moloney landed 145 punches through 7 rounds. 117 of them were power punches.
Tess, I thought it was a great stoppage. You know, I know Caballeros very, very well. He looks after his fighter. He saw that his fighter wasn't responding. Didn't look like he was fitted to go out there and compete. He knew he was getting beat to the punch, and so he went on ahead and stopped the match.
Bernardo, you are always listening
by
into the corners. What were they saying in the corner of Baez?
I actually spoke with Marcos Caballero, his trainer, for this fight, and he said, look, he simply couldn't breathe. We've got to take into account he took this fight on short notice, as have so many fighters, and he just couldn't catch his breath. He said, I couldn't send him out there if he can't breathe.
Dre, I guess the other thing to note is that Jason Moloney never gave him a chance to breathe. He was smothering him with the real estate that he had earned all night long.
Yeah, I'm not sure about what happened with his breathing, but I'll say this. Jason Moloney didn't just beat up the body of Baez. He took his mind from him. He discouraged him. I said that throughout the course of the fight. It's very, very difficult to want to continue to fight when you're giving your best and your best just isn't good enough. And you have a fighter in Jason Moloney who keeps stepping up the pace. He's manhandling you. He's beating you on the inside where you thought you wanted to fight. Oh, and then when he wants to go outside, he's beating you as well. Great performance from Jason Moloney, and I know he used the inspiration of his brother to pull through this fight as well.
No doubt about that, Tim. He looked like a guy who's ranked in the top 5 of a division, every major organization. Number 8 overall at Bantamweight on ESPN.com. He looked really good tonight, didn't he?
Tess, when you're fighting the best, Tess, it brings the best out of you. You know, when he fought against Manny Rodriguez, it brought the best up out of him. He didn't win that fight, but look how much he's improved since that loss. You know, with flying colors. He looked fantastic tonight. He looked strong inside the pocket. He boxed well from the outside. He blocked shots well. He's very disciplined and hungry. And look all the emotional stress he had to go through and deal with. I said that these boys was on a mission. They came here for a reason. They left their families for a reason. And he's been through some things. Now the younger brother Andrew, has been through some things, and he's gonna come back even stronger. I promise you that.
Let's make it official with Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside the MGM Grand, at the end of the 7th round, the blue corner calls a halt to this bout, declaring the winner by technical knockout, Jason Mayhem Moloney.
Mayhem all night long with his inside attack on Baez. What a great feeling for Jason Moloney after everything the brothers went through this week. He's now 21.